Hey everybody, well welcome to the first ever JMB Beauty Facebook Live chat. You know, this is gonna be a regular series for me, and we're actually gonna have so much fun because I'm gonna have guests, we're gonna do makeup how-tos, and I wanna get the chance to finally meet you guys, the viewers, those of you who love and use JMB Beauty, so you never know, you may be a guest right here where you either, if you're a makeup pro, you might be doing makeup with me, or if you're just one of those women who love to come in and just get her face done, we might do some really cool before and afters with you. So I do want to let you guys know this is going to be an ongoing series. And as a thank you for you guys tuning into this first episode, for the first 150 of you out there right now, if you share this broadcast, you will get a personal gift from me, JMB Beauty product, of course, with a handwritten note from me, and it'll be sent directly to you. So I'll bring that up a few times, but again, the first 150 shares of this broadcast, you're gonna get products sent out from JMB Beauty. We're here in our offices, so we'll be sending those out really soon. So I wanted to tell you guys, this is what we're gonna start with today, is that giveaway, but more importantly, I've got a really big announcement that's going to come up in just a few minutes that's going to affect a whole lot of you, and a chance to get literally an enormous box of JMB Beauty product for free, and you get to host your own party. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But I want to tell you guys a little bit, why did I create JMB Beauty? And I'm not going to start just talking about beauty and all this on the outside. I want to be a little more real about this. So you may or may not know, the original Matrix film happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time. And importantly, in that scene where Neo, for those of you who don't know, he goes to meet an oracle. But in this scene, he basically he turns to the oracle for validation in who he's supposed to be. And it's that moment that was so key to me. It made me realize how often we kind of want to turn over the validation that we really need for ourselves to somebody else. And if anyone who's seen the movie, probably so many of you out there, you all know that at the end of the film, he becomes the one. And he really gets there by turning inward and seeing his own truth. And that's really what discovering you is all about. And that's really where the core messaging for JMB Beauty started. I wanted this to be about self-empowerment, about a path to you. And how do we get there? And I think that's the thing that most people don't really take time to discuss. So the first thing I'll just say is, listen, I'm on social media all the time, so I read and I see how people are constantly giving away their power all the time. So they might put up 4 hairdos and say, okay, which hairdo should I get? Which haircut? Which hair color? Or they'll swatch 5 or 6 lipsticks and say, which one should I wear for my hot date tonight? But if you think about that, you're crowdsourcing your style instead of self-sourcing your style. And JMB Beauty is all about self-sourcing your style. This is about you. And remember, this package that we walk around in the world, that's not really who we are. Who we are is the consciousness that looks through our eyes. So it's kind of it should be kind of our own message, and how we represent ourselves is the way we get ourselves together, basically. And I find that when we crowdsource our style instead of self-sourcing it, we're not really being authentically who we're supposed to be and how we present ourselves to the world. By the way, I want to tell you guys, I know you're going to probably pop in some questions. I am going to answer questions as they come up, and I'll answer a ton at the end. But if you've got some great questions, definitely throw them my way and I'll answer them live while we're talking right here. So beyond talking about all that, let's just talk about social media in general. And let's say Instagram. We kind of live through this carefully curated, filtered world where everybody else sees us in that way. And I think when I'm walking on the street, people will say to me often all the time, say, hey, Mr. J, wouldn't it be great if we could walk around with our filters on? And that was really kind of the impetus and where I started creating products for JMB Beauty. And that's where the Filter Finish collection was born. Literally, I was going back and forth to Korea, and I found these really amazing skin blurring ingredients like micronized silk, genuine diamond dust. I mean like diamonds, not Diamonique or anything fake like that. What they do, these skin blurring ingredients really give the illusion of a filter on the skin when you've got that formulated with incredible full coverage makeup. So that is where I started for the Filter Finish collection, because I feel like people need to get back to this point of relating face-to-face in person and not just through our social media accounts. I mean, that's the most important thing to remember. We got to deal with real people at some point in our life. So the other thing I always say, you know, beauty, it is deeply personal, it's purely individual, and yet we always say it's surprisingly public because that's where we present ourselves to the world. And I think once we come back to self-sourcing our style instead of crowdsourcing our styles, we end up being more authentic to who we really are. So for me, the other big complaint that I got from so many of you is, oh my gosh, when I stand in front of a cosmetic line, I can't find myself. It's just so overwhelming. There's so many products out there. So for me, having 20 years of working with so many incredible women throughout my career and realizing that they instinctively have put themselves in one of three categories, or sometimes maybe even two. And those categories were classic, iconic, and avant-garde. And if you think about it, there really is no other category. And if there is, please share it right now. Type it in, because I've been dying to ask what other categories are there. But I believe between classic, iconic, and avant-garde, you hit everybody. So for classic, you've got, you know, I feel like that's a look that's really, it stands the test of time. It tends to be these great neutral palettes, but not necessarily just neutrals and browns, but it's a classic palette that never goes out of style. And then iconic, those iconic women, they tend to want to enter the room and turn all the heads. So I would usually say that that's usually a look that's referential to a period of time. So whether you're doing like a smoky eye and dark lip and it's like 1930s, 1940s, or if you're going with a great winged cat eye, red lip from the 50s or the 70s, it's typically those iconic women are going for something that's very kind of, it makes a statement. And then my avant-garde girls, I always say that's just about throwing away all the rules. That's about playing with color, just having fun. So what I did with J. Manuel Beauty is you've got that filter finish collection, which is where every woman should start her day, because that gives you that filtered skin perfection in person. And then from there, literally, it's choosing the pillar that fits you best, whether it's classic, iconic, and avant-garde. And I've done all the guesswork and all the color work with incredible products within each of those categories. So for me, that was really kind of the most important thing about J. Manuel Beauty, was making this about you, about putting the control back in your hands. This is, again, it's about a path to you. It's about self-discovery. That's why I always say discover you. And I think we need to really do away with the crowdsourcing and let's start self-sourcing our style so that we kind of own a little more of our own power, not only in person, but in the world of social media, which is forever growing. So sometimes people might say, well, I still don't know what color is best for me. I want to tell you guys something that you can do. I'm going to jump off here in a minute, but you can go to the iTunes store. You can download the J. Manuel Beauty app. And what this is not a gimmick at all. It's basically your own virtual beauty makeup consultant. Literally all you have to do is take a photo, and it won't let you take a bad photo with overhead lighting or anything like that. Usually if you don't have this nice flat light in front of you, go to a window where there's no sun and get just like some open daylight, have no makeup on, take a photo, don't worry, it doesn't go anywhere. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna analyze and create a color signature for you based off of your hair color, eye color, lips, everything, and skin needs. So what's going to end up happening is, at that point, it'll tell you exactly what your filter finish needs are and tell you the best colors that suit you. The only question it's going to ask you is, do you see yourself as classic, iconic, or avant-garde? Beyond that, the J. Manuel Beauty app does all the work for you. So it's a free app, free download, and allows you to discover you and who you really are. So before I do my big announcement, I just want to stress right now, if you're tuned in a little late, for the first 150 shares of this live broadcast on Facebook, we are going to give away free J. Manuel Beauty product. You're going to get a personal note from me in that box if you just to share this broadcast, okay? Now, but we're going to answer some questions. All right, we have a question?
So Jordan says that she loves the name Filter Finish, and she wants to know how you came up with it.
All right, so Jordan, you just sent in a question about, you love the name, the Filter Finish Collection, and thank you very much. And you want to know how I came up with it. Well, it's really interesting. We're in like an area of our conference room in our offices right now, and it literally was in this room, and this was early on in development. Again, the Filter Finish Collection was just, it was so important to me to create products that had a strong point of difference. I mean, as a makeup artist for many years, I've worked with almost every foundation, powder, skin product on the market. And I wanted to bring something that was new, that was different, that addressed not only just covering up imperfections, but also dealing with texture, which really is the next evolution in the cosmetics industry, because everyone is so obsessed with filters. So literally we kept talking about it has to work like a filter. And we were working with this micronized silk and diamond dust. And then what ended up happening was I literally said, with the entire team around the table, I said, this is like, this little section of the line is kind of like our filter finish collection. And I believe it was, I don't know who it was at the table, they said that's what we should call it. And it's truly a collaborative effort here in our offices. Everybody works together to really kind of put our heads together. And that's how we came up with the name. And so that's the core of the brand, the Filter Finish Collection. We will continue to develop that out. Like we just launched the Photo Illusion Concealer a few months ago. That is a filter finish product. And it has both the micronized silk and diamond dust in it. And I'm so excited to say that it was a huge successful launch as a new product to the Filter Finish Collection. We cannot keep it in stock. We don't even have any in our offices right now. So again, I'm glad that you're enjoying the name and specifically, the Filter Finish Collection. You guys got another question?
Yes. Adriana and Meridel asked where can you buy the products?
It was Adriana?
And Meridel.
Okay, so Adriana and Meridel, you guys just asked where you can buy the products. So right now, you can go to jmanuelbeauty.com and we have our own e-commerce on there. But beyond that, in the US, I do regular appearances on HSN, and I'm gonna be on the week after next, on August 25th. I'm doing literally a whole day of shows. I've got a huge kind of crazy schedule, but you can catch me on HSN. And in Canada, if there are any Canadians here watching, I regularly visit up there and I do the shopping channel as well. And there are a couple other outlets from beauty.com, etc. But if you go to jmanuelbeauty.com, you can definitely find from there what appearances I'm doing, where I am, and where you can buy the product. And we have an announcement. We're launching a new country coming up. Should I get into that now a little bit? No? Should we wait? We got a new country, and it's because you guys have been asking, when are you coming here? When are you coming here? We're launching, I'm teasing it, that's terrible. Okay, do you have another question?
We do.
Yeah.
So Beverly says she's been called Casper all her life, and she wants to know what product should she use.
And what was her name, sorry?
Beverly.
Beverly. Okay, so Beverly, you said you've been called Casper most of your life. I'm assuming you're very, very fair. And you know what? First of all, that's a horrible nickname, but it's interesting that you say that. I find that, especially for a lot of super fair women, there's usually very little choice on the market. You might find one or two fair or porcelain shades. For me, and at J. Manuel Beauty, I wanted the brand to be all inclusive and really inclusive of all women. So even if we come, I don't know if we can even see over here, if I can just kind of go over to this board, we're gonna move over just a little bit. I wanted to create 4 light shades. I've got 4 shades of medium, 4 shades in deep, but especially for my porcelain girls out there, these fair shades are so, so important. And because I have many, many close friends who are very, very, very fair, I wanted to make sure that I covered them as well. And one of the little tricks, it goes light 1 through 4. And so if you're very, very, very fair and just do not tan at all, you're in these categories. And if you've got freckles, I want to tell people for my ginger girls or girls with freckles, light number 2, there's a little secret ingredient in there so it doesn't cloud out your freckles. So that's just light 2. So literally, there's a shade for everyone there. You notice throughout the entire category, right through the medium category into those beautiful, deep, rich tones as well. Any other questions? Yeah, actually, as they're bringing up questions, I want to talk to you guys about classic, because I know some of you have probably already noticed, and have we seen our filter finish graphic go by with the girls when we were talking about filter finish, by chance? So we'll bring up a graphic. The filter finish collection, you can probably notice that the girl who's the second one from the left, that's Ann Markley from America's Next Top Model, Season 2, and so many of you guys have written me that on social media. So I actually used Ann throughout the campaign. So we're gonna take a look here behind me. We're talking about classic, iconic, and avant-garde, and some women say, you know what, I might not be avant-garde, but I'm definitely classic during the week. But then on the weekend, I love to be an iconic woman. So with Ann, I had to kind of reference that a little bit. So this is Ann from our campaign shoot, and here she is as that beautiful classic beauty, which I think Ann absolutely is. And yes, we have remained friends through all those years since we taped season 2 of America's Next Top Model. And then if you go over to image right to the right, this is Anne as well, with a black wig on, and then we did her fully iconic with that smoky eye. This is my narcotic eye quad, which is very, very popular with gunmetal grays and black. And then this is the lipstick ache, which is again a huge popular shade. It's one of our top selling shades. So we did this iconic look, and then I have them side by side to show how you can totally be classic or iconic. You don't even have to just be one category. So again, we love to have fun with our images, and I keep in touch with my girls from Top Model days. And again, with this series, I want to hear from you guys. For those who are sharing the broadcast right now, you will get, if you're in that first 150 people who shared this broadcast, you will get product and a gift from JMB Beauty and a handwritten note from me. And then also you'll get an opportunity to be put in the list to be brought onto the show, because as we go forward, the shows won't just be me talking. They're going to be doing makeup, having fun, and having discussions. This is going to be a regular series where we actually do something. This is really just our little intro. So last question, couple questions.
Vanessa asks, how did you find your niche in makeup?
You know, it's really interesting. So Vanessa, thank you for the question. You asked, how did I find my niche in makeup? You know, obviously many years, and well before I was on television, I was a makeup artist and kind of working my rounds. I really wanted to get into kind of beauty advertising, and I didn't really, out of the gate, think, oh, I wanted to be a celebrity makeup artist, which is eventually where I ended up working. But the way I actually got my first ad campaign was really, it was crazy, because to work for a major cosmetic company and do beauty advertising, you have to have beauty advertising in your book. So it's like this catch-22. How are you gonna get your foot in the door? So what I actually did, and last Friday, I believe, it was 2 weeks ago, I posted an image. It was from a test shoot that I did with Bridget Moynihan, who is now an actress and was a big model. And I literally just said to her on a shoot, it was an editorial shoot we were doing, I'm like, I'd love to create beauty ads. Is there any way, you would do this with me? And so she agreed, and I found this amazing photographer, and we shot a series of beauty ads. We put them at the front of my book, and I sent them up to an ad agency. And even though I didn't have a legitimate ad, they could see that I was truly driven to be in this area of kind of my career. And that's how I actually booked my first major cosmetics campaign, and it was, believe it or not, with Revlon Cosmetics. So that is how I got into beauty advertising. And then from there, it was really word of mouth, and I started working with a ton of celebrities. As you know, as Tyra introduced me on America's Next Top Model, I was her makeup artist for years at that time. I'd worked with everyone from J-Lo, Heidi Klum, obviously Iman, many, many people, Rebecca Romaine, a lot of musical artists. I would do packaging and things with TLC, even Pink. When Pink hit the scene, I actually did her first packaging shoot when we were developing her look, and then did a series of appearances with her. So I've had such an amazing opportunity, not only to work with huge creative visionaries within our industry, but to work with so many different diverse women at all different stages in their career. And it's amazing for me to still see Pink out there doing her thing, when I remember being there on that first day, and she'd never even had someone fully shape her eyebrows before. So that to me has been, kind of a real blessing. Any other questions?
Sure. So Julia wants to know, she has deep under eye circles. What is the best product for her to use?
Sure. So Julia, you said you had deep under eye circles, and listen, I know so many people out there relate to that. And the biggest problem that happens with concealer is, if you want to really cover the under eye discoloration, you need a full coverage concealer. It tends to be like a derma base. The problem with that is you put these heavy dermas under your eye and they instantly age you. They kind of bring out the small lines around your eyes, and then if you have to set it with powder, you can look just so much older, which is not what you want to do. And then most liquid concealers don't give you that coverage. Well, I was talking about it before, Julia. I launched the Photo Illusion Concealer just a few months ago. It's because I was working on it for such a long time. I wanted to create like a spa experience for the eyes. So first of all, with your puffiness and dark eyes underneath, you probably notice I've got this cooling tip right at the top. It allows you to put it right up underneath your eye. But most importantly, this is a full coverage formula, but that's a liquid, and it has that micronized silk and diamond dust in it, with red algae, which is soothing to the eyes, so that you don't end up aging the skin as you put on a full coverage finish, which again, any makeup artist out there, any vlogger, anybody, any budding makeup artist know that when you use those heavy derma concealers, you instantly look older, and then you gotta throw that filter on. So this was about creating a product that was a full coverage finish, but also deals with that texture, and so it's like wearing that filter under your eyes. So the Photo Illusion Concealer, definitely try it out.
Okay,
Yes.
so Nashida says she wants some more tips. Do you have any specific for lips?
Tips for lips. So here's a great tip. A lot of people love to look at beauty advertising. They see these perfected lips, and they say, well, how come it's not? How does it look so perfect? And one of the things that I always remind people is when after you've done your lining or your lipstick or gloss, whatever you're doing, best thing to do is take a little bit of loose powder, and we're literally just launching the J. Manuel Beauty Luxe Loose. You will live for it. Take it, a little bit of it on your sponge or your wedge, and literally with your mouth closed, go along the edge of your mouth and like kind of draw almost like a triangle on the outside. And then what you do is you take a brush and you whisk that powder away. It'll instantly sharpen up the edges of the lipstick. So if you're working with these deeper shades or a beautiful red and you want that perfect sharp mouth, remember to go over after. You can use a little Q-tip first to sharpen it, but then take that Luxe powder, really heavy on the sponge, and just really roll it off the edge of the corners of your mouth and then whisk it away. And the great thing about that question is, for the next show, we'll be doing makeup demos live and showing you guys all these things. Absolutely. Any other questions? Yeah? Good? Oh, so they're like, we're going to go to our announcement. So for all of you again, for those of you out there, if you're just tuning in, if you want to still try and share this broadcast, the first 150 people who share this broadcast are going to get a personal gift from me with a personal note. And now for our big announcement, I wanted to let you guys know we're obviously sold in the US and Canada, but because so many of you have been requesting from across the pond, when are we getting over to Europe? Literally 3 weeks from now, on September 7th, I will be launching J. Manuel Beauty throughout the UK. And I will be over there doing events and appearances. Just stay tuned to all our social media. You're going to get all that information, but you're officially hearing it now. J. Manuel Beauty will be in the UK starting September 7th. We're really excited about it. I think it's a great place to go next with J. Manuel Beauty. Thank you guys for being patient, because I do read all the comments you guys send me, and I've been listening to all my UK fans out there saying, when are you coming to the UK? So we're doing that now, and here's the exciting part. For literally 125 applicants who want to host a kind of girls' night in the UK, you have to live within the UK, you can host a party. We will send you guys an entire box with all the filter finished products and color products, classic, iconic, avant-garde. You don't have to pay for anything. You just have to host that party and then take our no filter challenge, which you literally have to post all your results on social media. It's not controlled by me, by anyone at J. Manuel Beauty. Literally, that'll be up for you guys to post your honest reactions to the product. So we just send it to you, and that's how it's gonna go. So it's really exciting. It's an opportunity to get literally a ton of makeup for free, and you get to try it out with your best friends and put out your results. That's all we want to see, is see your results on social media. So here is how you apply. You just log into just jmanuelbeauty.com/apply-UK, and I think you can look at that on your screen right now, and that's our no filter challenge. Again, go to jmanuelbeauty.com/apply-UK. Right from there, boom, you're in the application process, and if you're selected, you're gonna host a party for your friends, and you're gonna get to play in makeup, and all you gotta do is post your results on social media and have fun with us as J. Manuel Beauty. Our whole team will be over there for our big launch in the UK. And on these Facebook live stream shows, as we come back with other topics and makeup how-tos, and we will be launching other countries very soon, and I believe our next Facebook Live will be even announcing the next country, because there's a lot going on over here at J. Manuel Beauty. And yes, everyone standing on the other side of the room is nodding yes. We're going crazy, but we're here having fun. This is about that path to you and helping you guys discover who you really are. So Is there any last questions?
Yes. So
Yeah.
Terry wants to know, what do you like most about your work?
You know, Terry's question was, what do I like most about my work? You know, I feel like over the last, it almost feels like the last 10 years, I feel like my brand is like 20 years in the making, but the last 10 years I've had this incredible opportunity to do so many different things, whether it be, you know, being on a show or working with women and developing their looks, or even the personal work that I do when I go visit women in women's shelters to help them kind of build their own self-confidence and where that comes from within. But I feel that coming into the office almost every day, I'm working on this brand and really this message, and J. Manuel Beauty, it's so important really for me and everybody here to make sure that we stay aligned with this idea of bringing this new technology, a filter finish, to the marketplace, and beyond that, really helping people discover who they are and allowing them to have that power. And I really got into this business overall for the kind of that empowerment of women, and I've now got to this place where I realize it's even beyond that. It's really about just self-empowerment in general. So that's really the thing that I enjoy the most about the work that I do.
Do you want to announce the giveaway?
Pardon me?
Want to announce the giveaway again?
Oh, the giveaway. Sure, absolutely. So for anyone, sorry, they just asked me if I want to bring up the giveaway. Are we talking about in UK?
Yeah, with sharing and.
All right, so just before we sign off, I just want to let you guys know, again, for the first 150 people who share this broadcast, and there might still be a few spots left, so go ahead, if you haven't done it, go ahead and share this broadcast within Facebook. Our team will see the names of the people in the top 150 shares. They'll reach out to you, and you'll get a personal package of makeup from me with a personal note here at J. Manuel Beauty. And then again, the big announcement was we're launching throughout the United Kingdom, in the UK, across the pond, on September 7th, and we are going to host like this amazing kind of like house party, really. 125 of you get the opportunity to apply to host a party of your own. You do not have to pay for anything. We just send you an entire box of the entire collection of J. Manuel Beauty, and your only requirement for you and your guests is to post your results, your makeup results, on social media using the various hashtags for J. Manuel Beauty. That's all you have to do. So you can apply. Again, we're going to throw up this graphic really quickly so you guys can look at it. If you're in the UK, you can apply right here at jmanuelbeauty.com/apply-UK, and you will get that chance to be one of 125 hosts hosting your own party in your own home with free product from the entire collection of J. Manuel Beauty, and all you have to do is post your no filter photos on social media with your honest reactions, and that's literally what you're doing. So I'm excited we got to do this. I know I did a lot of talking today. Just so you guys know, this is not going to be indicative of our show. I'm going to bring lots of people, some famous people. The next show, I know I'm probably definitely bringing in some other celebrity guests, and we are going to, again, have fun. And if you guys tune in every time, we will be looking to reach out to you, the viewers, and we'll bring in, you know, either you want to come in and do makeup, or if you want to be someone who steps in here and we do your makeup. That's what we're here to do. We're going to have fun with this regular series. And sorry for all the talking today, but we wanted to set up what we're going to do every time we tune in live here on Facebook. Thanks again, guys.